Hey there, my friends, it's Brad, the Bearded Piper, and I hope you all are having a great day. Beautiful evening here, about night here in southwestern Pennsylvania. It's like 66 degrees, and I am absolutely enjoying it. Spent the day cutting the grass, push mowing, riding a tractor, running the weed whacker, and it is just gorgeous out tonight. So I decided to come out and have an early celebratory bowl. Now, you're saying, wait a second, Brad, you just celebrated last week. Yeah, that's right. Last week I did celebrate. I celebrated the fact that we got the news, we got the test results back that my dog Icon's spleen was not cancer. It was a congested spleen caused by an infection, and it was treatable. So that's really good news. His stitches came out just a few days ago. His white blood cell count is normal. He's got to go back in 2 weeks to make sure it's still normal, and that it's just not the antibiotics that are affecting him, keeping the white blood cell count low. But today I am celebrating early on July 25th, which is this coming Tuesday. My wife and I will be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. So this is the official year. This is the official day. As of 2:30 Tuesday afternoon, I will be officially married longer in my life than I wasn't. How about that? So we got married just a few weeks before I turned 25, and we're just a few weeks before I turned 50. So, and I wouldn't trade any of those days in for anything. I absolutely love and adore my wife, and she's not even out here. She's in the house in bed. So, yeah, she doesn't watch my videos, but I do. I absolutely love and adore her. So, and you might be thinking, hey, didn't you just have a big anniversary? And the answer to that is yes. In November, my wife and I, it was our 30th anniversary of our first date. And I know that's crazy, all these 30 years later, to even think about that. But I'm a sentimental guy, and I remember those things. So, yeah, so I just do. Now, but I am out here on the deck, and I'm having that celebratory bowl in a pipe that I'm not sure I've ever shown before. This is a Stanwell. I purchased this pipe in November of 2021, and this is a Stanwell Pipe of the Year. It's a 1998 Pipe of the Year, and I bought it specifically to enjoy on my 25th wedding anniversary. How silly is that? It's got a beautiful rim that is just absolutely gorgeous. And so it's a 1998 Pipe of the Year, and I told my wife whenever I was getting it out tonight about it, and she thought it was kind of cool. No, I'm the sentimental one, not her. She thought it was kind of cool. And she asked me, are you only going to enjoy that on our anniversary? I'm like, I don't know. The key was to wait until our 25th anniversary. But I don't know. I may enjoy this pipe a lot because it's a great performer. And in it, I have some Gatsby Luxury Flake from Drew Estate, which has been discontinued. Because, why? Because I absolutely love it. And this stuff is sophisticated. But what does that mean? This smoke is pleasantly sweet and mild with just the right mix of Cavendish and sweet Virginia tobaccos. People will think you are some sort of aficionado. That is what sophisticated means. And it's topped with rich fruit note. So it is a Virginia Cavendish, and it has a fruit/citrus topping on it. It is discontinued. I don't think Drew Estates is making any pipe blends in the United States, at least. They're not releasing them. And it's pretty good. I picked up a tin of it. Rick was giving stuff away in the fall of 2021, right whenever I picked my pipes back up, and I picked up a tin of it, and it's one of my absolute favorite blends, and I have been rationing it all this time. So, but it got me thinking when I got this pipe out, and look at it's got a little stem. It's just a beautiful pipe. I love that rim. It's just gorgeous. But when I got this pipe out, I thought, you know what? I'd like to talk to you tonight about special pipes, pipes that have a little bit of a meaning to me. Because I am that sentimental guy, I think we all have a few pipes that mean maybe just a little bit more to us for one reason or another. Okay, so that pipe obviously means something to me because it's a 1998 Stanwell Pipe of the Year. I bought it specifically because it was the pipe of the year my wife and I got married. I think that's obvious. I don't think I really had to explain it, but just in case you're slow, hey, you never know. So this one here is a Dr. Rabo. What? Dr. Rabo? Yeah, it's a Dr. Rabo 2003 collector's edition. Now, it is just a bent billiard. It is your standard Dr. Rabo filter size. And this is not technically my first pipe, but my first pipe. In college, I picked one up after I broke up with one of my girlfriends. Actually, just a few months before I started dating my wife. I picked one up and I scorched my mouth and I couldn't keep it lit, and I have no idea what happened to that. That was back in 1992. But I picked this one up in 2000. I think I did get it in 2003. And I tried, and then again in 4, and then again in 5, and it was some kind of crazy cherry blend. I don't know if it was Captain Black or what, but it was the same blend every time. All those years in a Ziploc plastic bag, it never dried out. I mean, that just shows you how much stuff it had. But that's my first pipe, and it basically feels, it's pretty smooth on the inside. Yeah, I almost never go to this pipe, but it's my first one, so I'm keeping it. This one here is a Kamoy, and this is a little squat bulldog. I picked this one up last summer, and it's the first pipe that I ever did pretty much a full restoration on. I reamed it. I had a whole video on it, and it was incredibly oxidized when I got it. Even the bowl was kind of nasty, so and because of that reason, I kind of like it. But I'm really digging these Kamoys lately. I don't know what it is. I'm watching them on eBay. Yeah, I have no idea why. I haven't bought any, but I really dig them. So, back in 2006, 7, and 8, I was all Irish, right? You know, when you first get into these things, I mean, hasn't been 20 years, but, you know, thinking back, it was about the Irish part of it for me, you know? Not that pipes are Irish, but there was an Irish company that made pipes, and that, of course, is Peterson. And I picked up this gorgeous Peterson Emerald. Again, this was an eBay find, probably in 2007, 6 or 7. And I don't know what it says on it. It just says made in Republic of Ireland. It's a 120, and it is a Peterson Emerald. And it's got that green ring on it. The grain on this thing is just absolutely stunning and gorgeous. So this was my first jump from the Dr. Rabo into a better pipe. It's got a P-lip on it. And I'm not a huge fan of P-lips, but this is a great pipe. And the reason I'm not a huge fan of P-lips is because it's hard to run a pipe cleaner through them because of that bend. This one is not an issue until it gets to here. When it gets to here, it becomes an issue, which a lot of Petersons are like that, I hate to say. So there's that one. Then, when I was going to Pipe Club and hearing these guys talk, and what are they talking about? They're talking about all kinds of really cool things, all kinds of really crazy things, and all kinds of expensive pipes. At least in my mind, back then, they were very expensive pipes. And they kept talking about Costello. And I picked up this Costello Sea Rock. It's a bent bulldog. And I got it on eBay. 30 bucks, 25, 30 bucks, something like that. And remember, this is 2007-ish, 6-ish, 7-ish, and is a Costello Sea Rock bent bulldog. It's a great performing pipe, just absolutely great performing pipe. And you think I would go to this pipe more often, but it's one of those things. I don't know, are you like this? I'm like this. If I have something nice, I save it for some other time. And then I was listening to Pipes, Pours, and Pals podcast, and I can't remember his name, but they had not Pipes, Pours, and Pals, it was Get Pipes podcast. And they had the gentleman who owns the pipery on, and he was talking about blends that are discontinued, and his theory is enjoy them now. It's better to try them and enjoy them and say that you've tried them and enjoy them than it is to save it forever and never try it, or not want to try it. I didn't know this was a thing, but there are people that won't try blends that aren't in production anymore because they're like, well, if I like it, I can't get it anymore. They won't do small batches. Why? Just get them, enjoy them, and then, move on to the next one. So, but this was my first Costello, so that's pretty special. This one here is kind of silly special. This is a Brigham Tundra, shape 29. It's the one that made me realize that I like this shape, which I think is, I don't know, it's not quite a bent apple. It's not really an author, it's not really a prince, but it's the shape that I really, really like. It's the first one that got me into the Brighams. It's got a composite tenon, and I'm going to get it wrong. I think it's Delrin, but I could be wrong. I get that wrong all the time on what it's called. So that's the one that got me started in Brigham. This one is my first artisan pipe, and this is from Steve and Roswitha, SNR Pipes, and Steve has been passed away, so this one was actually made by Roswitha, and she was in Columbus, Ohio, and she's now a retired pipe maker. She sold all of her equipment to somebody else, and but this one's my very first artisan pipe. Then of course we have the pipe that I showed last week, and this was my dream pipe because it's a merchant service standard. My grandmother was a big Bing Crosby fan, and this was the Bing Crosby pipe. Of course his was smooth, all the pictures that you've seen him in, but I got that one last year. In all honesty, just dumb luck on how I managed to pick it up. I keep looking like this so I can look through my bifocals to see how long this video is going. And then let me get into these last three. Are very special to me. So I've talked about it before. In 2006, when I made a decision that I was really going to try to get into pipes, a gentleman by the name of Fuzzy took me under his wing, and he took me to the pipe club, and we met at Bill's house, and I met John, and I met Homer, and I met a gentleman by the name of Don, and of course I met Bill because it was at Bill's house. And those guys helped me so much. They showed me how to pack, showed me how to light, tried all kinds of aged blends. Homer remembers, and I slightly remember it, but Homer remembers it really well. Bill had like a 20-year-old Balkan Sobrani that he wanted me to try. And I think it may have been the last bowl that he had. He's like, get out your best pipe and you've got to try this stuff. So I pulled out a cob and started loading it up, and Bill almost had a heart attack, they said, but he wasn't against cobs, but he was just expecting something different because they were really into artisan pipes back then. So this was the pipe that John contacted me last year and said, are you interested in a pipe? And this is the first pipe that I got from Bill's estate. And it is huge. I've only ever packed and lit this pipe once, and it was to watch a Steelers game, and I watched the entire game and still wasn't finished with pipe. So this is a very long performer, yeah, it's pretty special just because of the guys that were behind it. I think they may have designed these and had them made. This one here is really special to me as well. This is another Northern Briars. This was one of Bill's favorite pipes. You know, and I associate this with John and Bill and Homer, and every time I get this pipe out, this is the only pipe in my entire collection that's dedicated to a blend. It's not actually a blend, but it's dedicated to a type of blends. And I know a lot of folks are like, well, these are my English pipes, these are my Virginia pipes. I don't do that, except for this one. This one is my English and Balkan pipe, because that's what Bill enjoyed out of it. So John told me towards the end, this was one of Bill's favorite pipes. He could still see Bill enjoying this pipe, and at the end he really enjoyed a light English or a Balkan blend. So in Bill's honor, that's what this pipe is for. And last but not least, for some reason, it's not my favorite shape, it's not my favorite size, but it's my favorite pipe, and that is this Northern Briars Premier Billiard. And I've shown this pipe a bunch of times. I have a lot of pipes and I don't have a dedicated rotation, but this pipe I reach for a lot more than any other pipe. It's a great performer. It is a big pipe. You know, it is compared to a Zippo. It is a pretty big pipe, but I just like this pipe. I don't know what it is. It's a great performer. It fits well in my hand. It clenches. It's a little hard to clench. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little heavy to clench, but I just really like this pipe. There's just something about it, and it may be sentimental. We're gonna end this video by saying it may be sentimental as well. This pipe makes me think of friendship. This pipe makes me think of fellowship, camaraderie. This pipe makes me think of John, of Homer, of Bill, of Fuzzy, you know, and how willing they were to take me into their group, even though I just kind of disappeared whenever I gave it up, until I came back. And when I came back, they took me right back in their group, and I'm hopefully, if things go the way they're supposed to, I'll still be able to make it to Columbus and be able to spend the weekend with John and Homer. So I'm really looking forward to that. But this pipe makes me think of them. This is one of the pipes that came from Bill's estate. It has no significance on what they collect, what they enjoy, but it came from Bill's estate, and for some reason I have a lot of attachment to this specific pipe. So, but that's it, my friends. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna finish this Gatsby's Luxury Flake in this Stanwell pipe, which is the 1998 pipe of the year, and I thought, look at the size difference between this pipe and this pipe. So until we talk again, my friends, remember, life is good, but it is better with a pipe. Oh, and if you see my wife, make sure you tell her that in this video I did say that I love and adore her.